it looks great. And then I throw it on the floor. Okay people, welcome back to another Fwoosh review. Tonight I'm taking a look at the Bandai Figure-Rise Standard Dragon Ball Z Perfect Cell. I remember Dragon Ball Z back in the day. I didn't watch a lot, but just the combination of these being model kits and awesome looking action figures, I had to get into it. Now the box is what we've been seeing with the other Figure-Rise Standards. Just pretty graphics on the front, some description right here. On the bottom you get a bunch of action poses. It shows the energy blasts and you know just how posable the figure is, and it looks awesome. Pretty graphic on the side. On the other side, there's actual stills from the show, a bio, and then the usual stuff I can't read. Now, we get inside the box, and the sprues look cool. Judging by the hands, this is going to be quite a bit bigger than Goku. With these, you just get the sticker sheet. You don't get a water slide decal, but so far, with the 3 models I have built, the stickers have just stayed on there, and they look really good. And I'm going to guess that is Cell's tongue. The stand for his energy effect, or his Kamehameha. The actual effects. And then just looking at the pictures, these look like his armor pieces and his back wing looking things. And then more figure parts. Now, I was worried about this model kit because it looked like the green parts of him. There was dark parts within the lighter green background. But it looks like every body piece has holes in it. And then every body piece has a background piece. So that seems like a lot of plastic just to get that effect of 2 different greens. And then the instructions. With the Battle Droid model kit, we saw that it was an actual little booklet. With this, we're back to the roadmap where you unfold the whole thing. Which, either way, it doesn't matter to me. The booklet was kind of neat. It was easier to stand up whenever I was doing the model kit in front of the camera. But other than that, there's not much difference, really. So I'm going to start building this and see where this goes. Okay, working on the head, you can see that the front is on. And what happens here is the light green has holes in it. The dark green has the shapes that fit up through these holes. So each part of that is actually a double layer. That's kind of crazy. There's a lot more sprues than what I'm used to here. I'm leaning it up against the wall and all across here, and so yeah, more plastic, but man, these look pretty cool. I mean, they could have went a totally different direction. They could have went, here's some decals for the top of the skin, but nope, I like that a lot. Okay, it's hard to get an idea of the faces exactly when you get them together, and make sure you put the right numbers with the right numbers in the order of the instructions, because I got the wrong back plate on the first set of eyes I put together and it would not fit together. I was like, this kid is screwed up. I can't do it. It's impossible. But then I realized I cut out the wrong pieces. I cut out the back plate for this one and was trying to put this face on it. And as you can see, they're different lengths. When you're looking at just the face without the head in it, it looks weird. I mean, even the red dots in the eyes is like a half. So I was like, that looks weird. Why does it look so goofy? And then when you actually put it in the head, that's when it comes together. That's great. But I feel like when you get the model together, you have to pull the head off to change out the faces because it slides out the bottom, and then you have to put the other one up in there. This is the right arm. I've got it all together. I haven't got the bicep on and I haven't got the outer piece, but you can see that the dark green actually forms a skeleton underneath, and then the light green is like the cover. So whereas a standard model kit would have had just 2 pieces pushed together and then the bicep on top, the forearm would have been just 2 pieces together, it's actually 4 pieces for each one. This is crazy good. Not only am I liking the build because it's kind of hard to tell where it's going, the finished figure is looking pretty sweet too. Getting down to the right leg, just the thigh itself is 7 pieces. Uh-oh, that may be a problem. I'm trying to keep that kneecap on there. But yeah, that's just crazy. The inside green, the outside green, I can't get over it. Mostly because it's taken twice the time too, because you're clipping twice as many parts. So that is a downside, but it's looking fantastic. And there we go, all built. And it was a fun build. Like I kept saying during the build, it was interesting. The overlaying parts, the dark green under the light green. But that does present a problem after you get it all together. And I'll show you that here in a minute. But appearance, it looks fantastic. It looks great. It's imposing. It's bigger than the other Dragon Ball model kits that I've put together, which is 3. But this is the biggest one so far. Very nice figure. Very nice finished product. My problem comes into play when you try to pose him around. It's got a good amount of articulation, a good range of movement, but moving him around is the problem. I don't know if it's because of how many layers there are to the limbs, but it starts to try to pry apart when you get too crazy with the articulation here. You mess with it here, it starts splitting right here, you push it back together. Another problem I've been having is the forearm. It splits apart whenever you're messing around with it. You got to push it back together. And right here at the bicep. It's not so much here as it is here. It's the whole piece. Again, with the dark green underneath. Another thing I don't like, and it's more character design than actual figure, is the back wings. It makes it kind of difficult to get a hold of them. You know what I mean? They get in the way when you're trying to pose them around. There's not a lot of articulation to them, so they don't really get out of the way. Now for articulation, this is a big figure, so I'm trying to do it all on camera. The head, I've noticed with all the models so far actually, not a lot of range of movement here up and down. You get some side to side, and you get some forward and back at the bottom of the neck. Gets good down, but not so much up. Then, of course, swivel. The shoulder is a ball going into a butterfly joint, so you have a pull-out joint right there, so you can get around to the front. Ball in there, and then you have a hinge going into the shoulder, so you get some up too. Double elbow comes up pretty good for a big armored character, you know what I mean? Ball at the wrist, and we have that gap again, which is a little bit noticeable, but I've gotten used to it actually when it comes to the Dragon Ball model kits. I showed the wings, they're on a swivel kinda, and a hinge out. They come out like this, and you can press them together, but there's a stop that keeps them from going any higher than that. There's a ball going up into the chest and then down into the crotch, so you get a good range of movement there. You've got a swing down joint for the hip, so you do get a little bit down, so you can get forward more. So you get out about that far. A lot of armor here. Forward, back, again, armor all in the way, but you do get some swivel. Double knee, good range of movement for a big old leg. You have a swivel at the foot, hinge that goes back. And this hinge is very tight. I like this hinge. It supports the weight of the figure. And then a forward-facing pin for rocker. Now for hands, he comes with the 2 fists, and then the open grip claw hands that, you know, for the Kamehameha blasts. Speaking of that, it comes with this, it's pretty much standard now with these kits, but he comes with the blue blast. It comes with a clear stand that's adjustable up and down, and then a hinge at the top. And then the build-up energy ball. And then last for the faces, he comes with just like a smirking face. Very smug, very cocky. And then he comes with the screaming face, open mouth. The easiest way is to remove the head, which is really easy to pop off. It slides down and out, then you just slide the other face on. Now for comparison, here he is with Gohan. The Dragon Ball sets come out in pairs. Usually it's a larger figure and a smaller figure. And I do like Gohan. Good figure. It's like a scaled down version of Goku. So if you have Goku, little Gohan's about the same, just smaller. And to show how much smaller, here he is with the Series 1 Goku. And then finally someone asked for a comparison to a standard figure arts human type character. Give you an idea of the standard 6-inch figure. So at the end of the day, I really like this figure. It's a good toy. I love the model kits. I love the build. It's gotten me into another property that I'm really enjoying. They're cheaper than most import figures. And to me anyway, even though I don't have any of the Dragon Ball figure arts to compare with, just going by pictures, I'm pretty happy with the model kits and not getting any of the figure arts. The finished product just looks really good. And on this kit, I really love the way they got around having to use decals for the darker green. It's kind of innovative. And I'm not sure if they've used it in other kits, but this is the first one I've done, and I'm impressed. It was a genius way to get around a kind of a complicated problem. But because of that, it feels kind of, not flimsy. Flimsy's the wrong word for it. All the joints are stiff. He holds poses really well. It's just that the parts kind of split back apart whenever you're trying to pose him. That may be a problem, but glue may fix that too. I've never used much glue on any of these kits, Star Wars or Dragon Ball. I don't know, if I mess around with him enough, may have to do that just to keep him together. So if you like the review, comment, like, subscribe. I'll catch you on the Fwoosh. And there we go, all put together. There may have been a couple of things, me getting too excited, which always happens when I'm putting a model kit together. I forgot to put the ankle joint in, went to put the foot on it, and there was no joint there. So I had to take that back apart. But it didn't mess up the decals, so I'm not so worried about the decals now because I put that through hell.